Calvary Church presents Real Servants of Genius.
Real Servants of Genius.
Today, we salute you, Mr. Never Used a Tool in Your life.
City Service Servant.
Like a penguin in a thumb wrestling match in the tropics. You fumble around with your hammer, leaving behind a wake of destruction in your path.
Watch out for that hammer.
The only tool you really know how to use is a remote control.
Football all day long.
Some people are afraid of the dark, but your biggest fear is if someone asks you to pass the Phillips head screwdriver.
I don't even know what this does.
Fortunately, you went on the CityServe website and found out there are many ways to serve.
Bring it on.
So thank you, Mr. Never Used a Tool in Your life, because you still went out and made a difference.
We're in a teaching series at Calvary called Experiencing God, and so if you've been a part of that, you know there's these realities of experiencing God that we're trying to understand how God relates to us and how it is that we experience Him and get involved with Him in what He is doing. And one of the great principles that we've already talked about is that God is always at work around us. We need to look to see where He's working and then join Him. When we see Him at work, that's His invitation to us to join Him where He's at. And you know, the reality is, God is at work in our community. He's not just at work within the four walls of our church. He's at work within our community. And He's at work in our neighbors' lives. And He's at work in all the different places where teams of people on CityServe Weekend are going to be serving. And if we don't get out and see where God is at work, one time Jesus said that as often as you give somebody who's thirsty a glass of water, as often as you give somebody who's hungry something to drink, you're giving it to me. You know, we need to get out into our community to find Jesus, just as much as somebody needs to come to our church to find Jesus.